So I'm talking about immigrants in Philadelphia, and just to be clear, I'm not talking about people who moved here from Jersey or Pittsburgh. I'm talking about people who moved here from other countries. Now, as you've heard tonight, Philadelphia's population in the last few years has gone up. But if you look at it back to 1990, the population was down by 32,000. But over that same period, the foreign-born population rose by 94,000. So if it weren't for immigrants and for millennials, this city would be in deep shit. Now, there are some parts of the city where there are a lot more immigrants than others. And I'm going to show you a map in a second of the city. The darker colors indicate the areas where there are more immigrants. And I think it's not going to look like what you think. The largest percentages are actually in the far northeast. How many of you have ever been to the far northeast? Where there are a lot of Russians, Ukrainians, and Indians. And you saw those other places. Anyway, so where do immigrants to Philadelphia come from? Yes, they come from all of those places. That's the world there. The question is, from which place do the largest number come? And from all of you who said Latin America, you're wrong. It's Asia. Now, some of you who may have thought Latin America may have thought, well, I know there are a lot of people here who have come from Puerto Rico. They are not immigrants. They were born in the USA. People have crazy ideas in this country about how many immigrants there are. And that explains a lot of the problems we have about immigration policy. In a national survey, people said, the average response, what's the percentage of foreign-born people in the country? 42%. That's over 2 out of 5. That's the median response. That means half of the people thought it was higher than that. I have no idea where they live, what they're thinking about. Actually, the number is 13%. And that number is true both for the country and for the city of Philadelphia. The interesting thing is that Philadelphia's number was way below that for a long time, and it's risen rapidly in the last 20 years to get to the average. So we did a poll recently, and we asked Philadelphians, so is this immigration thing a good thing or not? And the answers are going to come up in a second. 54% said, yeah, it's a good thing. And the way the question was asked, they agreed with the statement saying, immigrants bring new people and vitality to Philadelphia's neighborhoods. 34% said, no, not a good thing. They said immigrants create or add to the problems of the city's neighborhoods. Now, as you would guess, these answers vary a lot in demographic ways. The people who are most supportive are Hispanics, college graduates, 18 to 34-year-olds, and residents of West Philly. Give yourselves a hand. The least supportive are whites, people with high school or less education, 65 and over, and residents of the Northeast, which is really weird since there's so many immigrants in the Northeast. Now, immigrants, even to talk about immigrants as a group, of course, is very deceptive. And this, I wanted to give you an idea of how diverse the immigrant population is. Do you think immigrants are more likely than Philadelphians, native-born Philadelphians, not to go on to high school? Yes, 29% to 16%. Then let's look at the other end of the educational spectrum. Are immigrants more likely to have graduated from college than native-born Philadelphians? Someone in the front row has the right answer. She's shaking her head yes. It's 27 to 25% foreign-born. So just shows, and in terms of skills, obviously, ethnicity, everything, immigrants are a very diverse group in this city and obviously across the country. And I guess the message of all this is that after being for a long time, Philadelphia was a place that did not have a lot of immigrants. Now it is sort of catching up with the rest of the country. It's kind of caught up. It explains a lot of what's happened in the city, a lot of what's good that happens in the city. And the public seems receptive to the idea of having more immigrants. We've certainly got room for them. They're going to be a very important part of the city's future. Thank you.